Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and to another Redline restoration video. Make sure you subscribe and hit on that little bell so you can get notified of upcoming videos. And if you want to help out the channel, you can click on the join button. So on today's episode, we're going to be working on a Hot Wheels custom Barracuda made in the United States. At the end of the video, I will compare it to the Hong Kong version and show you the differences. Alright, so let's take this bad boy apart. I already went ahead and pre-drilled it. See how the base is black? That usually happens on US made cars, and when you clean it, you're gonna see that it's kind of reddish. It really doesn't go back to being polished metal unless you zinc plate it. US made cars have something, I guess where they made it, that the metal tends to discolor, which is another point. You can see we have a problem here. Somebody stepped on this car. The windshield is broken, and you can see the pillars are kind of bent. I do have a replacement windshield. I will show you how to make it fit back in the car. The problem is not the new windshield. The problem is that somebody stepped on the car. The metal on these old cars is a lot softer than the new ones. Second Chance Redlines, that's where I bought it from. So before we even strip the paint, I want to get this out of the way. Try it out. The windshield does have those two little tabs to hook on the plastic interiors. The little tabs are a little fatter than they're supposed to, so I cleaned them up later so I could get a better fit. And right off the bat, I can see I have a problem here. The windshield does not sit properly inside the car. But like I said, the problem is not the windshield, the problem is the car. We're gonna have to work on this car and try to make it a little better. See, that part right there is bent. Make sure you clean up your air. And I do have a lot of pliers that they are used to work with the jewelry. They are the best. Some of them have metal tips, some of them have plastic tips, like this one. Sometimes I warm up the car, heat it up in an oven, but you can see it everything moves easy. Just make sure you don't overdo it. If you go back and forth, it's gonna crack and break. Now with this over here, you just gotta be careful. And I'm sorry, but I'm trying to see what I'm doing, and I'm just trying to see how I can push it out to the point where the roof lowers a bit. And this is trial and error. So you gotta keep moving the metal and keep trying to fit it until you finally get it. See how the little tabs get stuck? Now if I try out the windshield by itself, it doesn't go in. The part that's supposed to touch the roof, it doesn't. But once I push it in, it lines up perfectly. So now I'm getting the idea on how I'm gonna fix it. Alright, so the way we do that is you put in the windshield and you use a hair dryer. Now remember, this windshield is fragile, does not take a lot of heat. And the best gauge is your hand. If it's too hot for your hand, then it's too hot for the windshield. You see how I'm warming it up and pushing it in place? So I repeat that until the windshield sits in its place and it doesn't bounce back. Now I'm gonna do a test, putting it back together, see how it looks. You can see the windshield, it's sitting perfectly now. Once I've done all of this, I can go and take the car to the paint stripper and get it ready for paint. This car had, like you can see, it had a lot of scratches, so I lightly sanded, cleaned it with Lime Away, and you can see the hood there has a different color. So that's toning. That happens a lot on US made cars. Another reason why I do not polish my cars anymore. So in order to fix this, you zinc plate it, then you paint. Look at the base, like I told you. See how it looks different? It's like they had too much copper in the mix when they made the Samac. I think that's the problem. And my solution, because I don't want to zinc plate, is the Redline Shop base coat, and then I'm going to use Spectre Flame Olive. And here it is, the finished product. As you can see, I did not have deep dish wheels for the front, but they're coming. I did this one, but at the same time I did the Beatnik Bandit. Alright, so let's compare the US with the Hong Kong. Obvious color of the windshield, blue for Hong Kong. The base of the Hong Kong has the 4 little holes to let you see the axle. In the back, they're very similar. Nothing really changes. On the side, very similar also. Only the US had like body lines there, or casting lines, more like it. But they're really very similar. The big difference is here in the front. You can see the what they call the power bulges on the Hong Kong are larger. And the engine, it's very similar, but there's a slight difference on one of the valve covers on the engine. And there's another part in the back near the ignition which also looks a little bit different. Other than that, they are very, very similar, except for the hood. This one is coming out of the little hook where the hinge. Here in the front, very similar also. And here it is. That's gonna be it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the video. Hit that like button, it does help. See you in the next one.